Are you down to leave the streets with me? Or could you be blinded by all this?
Yo, what's up everyone, this is Kawaki and I'm back with a new tutorial on how to get vocal quality like Blxst in his song Overrated. If you don't know who Blxst is, go ahead and check out his music. Also, if you want to go ahead and get the entire vocal preset, go to MAUTOPITCH.com, go to the store, click on the vocal presets tab and you can get the vocal preset there. So let's go ahead and jump into it. The first thing I'm going to do is turn off what we have here on the master channel and just go to the lead vocal. With Blxst, he has auto-tune on his vocals. For this key and the scale, I have it set on A flat major. If you don't have my version of Interest auto-tune, which is pretty old, you can go ahead and use any version or any auto-tune plugin. Just set the key and the scale to whatever you're singing in. For the retune speed, I kept around 10. That's usually kind of where I keep mine at, so that's where I have it. And I'm going to go ahead and turn off all these other effects and let you hear the raw vocals by itself. So this is what it sounds like.
Are you down to leave the streets with me? Or could you be blinded by all the sights you see? I'm willing to give you all this love I got.
All right, and if you don't have Interest Auto-Tune, I have you guys on the backup, which is also in the preset. I have it preset to where the key and scale is. I believe right here I set it to C sharp major, which is a little different from what I just showed you guys with the Interest Auto-Tune, but it all works the same. It's still the same key. Aside from that, let's go ahead and move into the next thing, which is a Fruity Parametric EQ2. Now what I'm doing, just taking out the low frequency in the vocal and boosting up the high. Most of the time I usually boost my vocals around the AK region right here for Blxst. I just wanted to get some more presence in it. Most of Blxst vocals are a little bit, they don't have too much high end, but we're gonna take care of it later. So with this, I have it boosted to around the 6K region, and that's up by around 9 decibels. And this is what it sounds like.
Are you down to leave the streets with me? Or could you be blinded by all the sights you see? I'm willing to get.
So after that, I have another parametric EQ2. And what I'm doing, just boosting the vocals a little bit more to where I just wanted it to sound a little bit more present. So I'm boosting right here in the 2K region and also right here around the 12,000 region. So this is what it sounds like with it.
Are you down to leave the streets with me? Or could you be blinded by all the sights you see?
So with it, there's a lot of sibilants, but we're going to get into that later. Right now, we're going to use a Fruity compressor. Now, what I'm doing is basically holding and gluing the vocals together. I want the vocals to be pretty leveled and very consistent throughout the entire mix. So the first compressor I have is just pretty much gluing those dynamics down and together. So these are the settings I have for it.
Are you down to leave the streets with me? Or could you be blinded by all the sights you see?
Now we're going to take care of a lot of that sibilance. I know the vocals got a little bit louder, but right here, what we're going to do is just use the sense and depth option with Spitfish. Spitfish is a free plugin you guys can use to just de-ess your vocals. And this is what it's going to sound like.
Are you down to leave the streets with me? Or could you be blinded by all the sights you see?
So you can hear it takes a lot of care of that high end frequency in the vocal. Next, we have another compressor. This time I'm using a Fruity limiter, but we're using the compressor section. And with these knobs, I'm just bringing my ratio to around 3:1:1. My attack set all the way to 0. My release is set right here, 25.83. And the head, which I believe is also sustained, is set at 0.97. For the knee, turn it all the way to the right, and I'm bringing down my threshold to where we just want it to the lowest level because we want everything to be fully consistent throughout. So this is what it sounds like.
Are you down to leave the streets with me? Or could you be blinded by all the sights you see? I'm willing to give you all this love I got.
So you can hear the compressor really being activated on those dynamic ranges. So when I'm saying like parts like all, that's why I'm pushing my vocal a little bit more. So the compressor is gluing that and pushing it down so everything sounds around the same level. After that, we have a Fruity filter. Now, before I initially mentioned that Blxst vocals usually, they don't typically have too much high-end presence, and I'm using the Fruity filter in order to take away some of that high-end presence. So this is pretty much my go-to move if I feel like the vocals have a little bit too much high-end in it.
Are you down to leave the streets with me? Or could you be blinded by all the sights you see? I'm willing to.
After that, we have a fruit delay bank. Now with Blxst, in this particular song, I hear a decent amount of delay coming in, so I went ahead and created these settings for it, which I believe is, you know, pretty similar to the original song. For the first knob right here, these are the settings that you want to have, and for the second one, these are the settings that you also want to have. So these are the two most important part. I have on the first one, I have it pan a little bit to the left to around 38%, and for the second one, I have that pan to the right around 36-38%. So that's what's gonna give it that clean sounding delay like Blxst.
Are you down to leave the streets with me? Or could you be blinded by all the sights you see?
After that, we have a fruity reverb 2, and all this is doing just giving the vocals some wideness and depth into the actual quality. So like I said, you can freeze the screen or just get the entire vocal preset, but just playing it, this is what it's gonna sound like.
Are you down to leave the streets with me? Or could you be blinded by all the sights you see? I'm willing to give you all this love I got.
Now playing it with the instrumental, all the other effects on top of it, this is what it's gonna sound like. For the master, we just have a fruity convolver cutting the mix at 16K. Although it says 15K, it's actually cut at the frequency range at 16K. And also with the fruity soft clipper, we're just stopping the entire mix from going past 0 decibels. And this is the final quality.
Are you down to leave the streets with me? Or could you be blinded by all the sights you see? I'm willing to give you all this love I got.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what I did in order to replicate Blxst's vocal quality in the song Overrated. If you guys like this tutorial, go ahead and put a thumbs up. Put in the comment section what you all want to see next. If you need a song mixed and mastered, go to BlueNovaBeats.com. Go to the contact form on the very bottom of the page. Send me a message there. And also, I want to note that I'm still pushing the genre and style that I've been creating called HyperBIT. So you guys make sure really just check out those beats. I'm also going to link it in the description. But yeah, if you've heard Solfago's music, I know this is counterproductive from promoting Blxst music, but yeah, go ahead and just check that out and let me know what you guys think. And like I said, put in the comment section what you all want to see next, and I'll catch everyone on the next video.
Are you down to leave the streets with me? Or could you be blinded by all the sights you see? I'm willing to give you all this love I got.